Hey y'all, it is April the 20th, 2020, and I appreciate the heck out of y'all. Thank you for joining me. Now, I hope I titled this particular broadcast accurately enough. That's exactly what I think we're about to do. And we're going to go into it a little bit willy-nilly. I want to thank you, for joining me here in this live broadcast, and the people who come, for the recorded broadcast. I appreciate you. So busy these days. Everybody's so busy. I'm very busy as well, and maybe that's the way that's always been. But it seems like it's getting amped up a little bit, right? So we're gonna go into it a little bit willy nilly tonight. I know that there's a couple of things that I want to touch upon before we get up on out of here. But just to describe it for y'all, man, my day, how my day went and stuff. Like I said, I've been thinking about the communist Chinese, right? I'm not gonna stop talking about it either. So I've been thinking about it when I wake up until I go to sleep. I'm thinking about what could I do? What could I do to ensure that whatever they want is not what happens, or at least that I fight against it, right? And so, I try to do things day to day that correlates with that and stuff. And today I got a lot done and did a lot of cleaning around here, right? Which needed to be done, right? Organization is key. And I've been working on that and stuff. Still a little bit more cleaning I got to do, but I've done quite a job now. Also, I've been planting like crazy. And I'm talking about food. I'm talking about because the communist Chinese might not want me to be sitting so fat and sassy. Neither me or my community necessarily. So as I mentioned before, I've been planting things and just going all balls to the wall with it. Like, typically for the gardeners out there, you plant maybe a little bit more than you need and stuff, but you can guesstimate it out, and you don't plant like way too much. After a while, you actually figure it out. Through trial and error. I planted so damn much, right? I'm going ridiculous with it. All right, I got about, like just for example, I'm looking at right now about 30 tomato plants. All right, and that's just the first round. All right, they're about 3 or 4 inches right now. They're sitting pretty. I got to get my vehicle situated wherever that comes from. I got faith it's gonna come through. I got different options and avenues I want to go down, see if I can get a vehicle right quick, and then I'll be able to transport these here plants to wherever it is they need to be planted in the ground. I live in an apartment complex, all right, so it's not going to happen here, but I do have some leads. I have promising leads on where it is that I can put some plants and stuff, and even then, I have way too many plants, dude. That was the first round, and I got many more planted, right? And actually, just give an example, I just planted 70 chives. 70, right? It's kind of ridiculous, and they're all planted. Here's the thing. I've been using the sprout system. It's all sort of different technology, man. I got to tell y'all about it. Maybe you already know about it. Maybe you're into gardening and stuff, man. These sprouter trays are the bees and knees, dude. Like oh man, the other day, I put in all sort of different seeds, probably 8 different plants, all right? All on these seeds, and I'm sprouting these seeds, and they're coming around so majestically. The chives, they're all planted, they're all about an inch long. I'm looking at them right now. All right, way more than I can situate myself, even with, say, if I were to pull off 2 or 3 gardens. And therefore, they're going to get passed around. They're going to get passed around for free sometimes to people who have gardens, people who I know as gardeners. And then, of course, I'm going to sell them for those fat stacks, right? And get super rich. Not really, but the thing is, it'll kind of pay for itself. And meanwhile, the community around me will start thinking about gardening, that's the number one thing that you can do against these people. They want to convince you in an apartment and this and that, and there's no way. All right, there's a way. All right, and then I got all sort of things like next on deck, dude. I'm looking at 8 okra. Oh, yeah. I mean, for those people out there who love okra, all right, I'm about to dive into some stuff, but I just want to tell you on a personal note. Some of y'all down south like that okra. Me too. And everything, dude. Have you ever tried macaroni and cheese with okra? Some people can't handle it because of the texture. Oh, it gets slimy. Oh, it gets cheesy. It gets crazy. But it's not only that, you can put okra in anything. Actually, you can eat okra pretty much raw if you wanted to. Maybe steam them a little bit if you wanted to. But you don't even have to do that. You could eat them raw if you have a good digestive system, and it's actually superfood. And I just did all sort of seeds and stuff. But that just to get out of the way, that took part of my day. took part of my day up transferring these different plants because it's a little while before I can put them in the ground. I should actually be able to put them in the ground right now, but I got to get that vehicle, and so I can get over to these places regularly. Hopefully set up an automatic watering system, because I'd hate to think I'd have to go to every one of these places like every damn day. And trust me, with the San Antonio heat the way it is and stuff, you know how it always been, you don't want to water your plants almost every day. Surely, I think we're going to see a rainy season as we have been. Like, if it's not pretty rainy this summer, it'll be out of the ordinary as far as the past few summers. I'm here to tell you, it's been rainy as hell. And God bless it, too, because we need that rain sometimes. But it also messes with your plants, especially tomato plants. I'm not going to go too far into it. Shout out to my gardeners out there, and I will be taking a look at the comments, just in case you want to crack some eggs of knowledge all over us. Trust me, it happens all the time, and I very much encourage it. With that being said, I do want to actually go into the comments. All right, as I said in the title of the thing, we're going to take a look at these comments. I have a couple of comments actually in particular that I want to, look into and analyze. There's more comments and stuff, but I just kept it to the nitty gritty this time. All right. So with that being said, I got these screenshots. I got a whole bunch of screenshots. It says 243. That's an illusion. Don't worry about that, because we're not going to be able to go through all those. But, we're just going to go through the most recent. All right. I'm not sure how to start. Okay, here we go. We got a comment. And I just got to let you know, this place right here, of course, there's certain things that I wouldn't allow. Of course, you wouldn't allow certain things in your home. You get to run what happens on your channel and in your home and stuff. So there is that. But for the most part, I'm very much First Amendment and stuff. And in fact, I encourage people to disagree with me. In fact, the more you disagree with me, the more I feel like I can trust where you're coming from. Because a lot of people are very agreeable people. All right. And so I don't know exactly if that's what they're thinking or they're just agreeing with me. It happens. This happened before. So, that being said, I want to go into Angela Tate. And Angela Tate has been a dear contributor for a long, long time. And I appreciate her so much. None of us are promised tomorrow and stuff like that. So who knows where this goes. But I appreciate the crap out of what's already happened throughout perhaps the years with Angela Tate and stuff, man. Just hanging on and showing me some love. And not only that, feeling very free to disagree. And I appreciate that. All right, so we're gonna analyze this right quick. Angela Tate, I'm thinking I find it very crucial, so that's why I brought it up. She said, and this is on a video that I did. It was called "No Live Stream Tonight" due to my macho madness. I believe I referenced Donald Trump because it got me all stirred up. All right, but Angela Tate, she said this. She said, so let me get this straight. Let me get one thing straight. She said, you think Trump is actually running any of this shoot? And the thing is, I got a lot of people who probably come through this channel who probably feel the same way, right? I don't know if it's a majority, but certainly it's a good minority. And it says, okay, so maybe I'm suffering a bit of cabin fever or something, but I detect something in you. And that got my curiosity. She said, I don't quite know what, but I don't like it, whatever it is. And I was like, dang. Right? And then actually, before I could reply, she said, the answer to that question, Gerard, absolutely do. What? Or maybe that was a reply. Sometimes they mix it up. I'm not sure what the heck. That's actually probably a reply to one of my replies. So let's see if we can go to how I replied. Okay, this is what I said. Because I was laughing. I'm not saying this to be overly mean with people. I want to drive some points home sometimes. And in that particular video, I was talking about Donald Trump, but I was talking specifically about like the speech that he had made that day. And not only that, more particularly the memes, the meme engine he is, right? You could deny it. I don't know how anybody could deny that Donald Trump's a meme engine. There's some people out there who would actually deny that. I don't think Angela's denying that. So I simply asked, do you know what a symbol is? Do you know what a symbol is? Because ultimately that's what a meme is, right? Symbolism, symbology, if that's a word, right? People have been talking about it for a long time, and there's certain symbols that people don't like. All right, like for example, the pentagram. They're like, oh man, this is a pentagram and stuff, man. They get very suspicious, very suspect when they see pentagrams. Meanwhile, I would argue, just for argument's sake, is that it's a star upside down. And if you turn it the right way, it's actually a star. And it's to me, it's a good thing, and it does kind of symbolize a human being when you think about the head, the legs, the arms. That's a star. Is it? I mean, there's a point at the top. That's a star, like a human being. And so the pentagram upside down, of course, would be an upside down human being. See how it goes? All right, it's the symbolism. You got the cross and stuff, and people take hope in that. People take courage in that. All right, but then you got that peace sign, whatever, that nuclear peace sign, whatever. That's an upside down human being dead. All right. And the thing is, if you turn that peace sign upside down, it's a human being with their arms up, man. Strong, like a tree, all right? It's a human being, a tree of life, all right? That symbol. But you turn it upside down, it becomes some sort of hippie symbol of laziness and so some sort of gender confusion, right? And so let me go to the next one. We're gonna mash this out real quick, but I did notice that we got a comment up in the building. I appreciate that, man. All right, so okay. So I asked her what was symbolism, and then she replied to me with that. Oh man, we got to unwrap our Brenda up in the building. I gotta say, and I wanted to make mention of this later, but an incredible channel over there, immaculate. I think it's right straight to the point, right? And it's just an example. Some people are busy during the day. I'm kind of busy and stuff, and some people are busy, so we can't put all the content out we want. But instead, like some people go the route of just putting out the nitty gritty right there, what you need to know for today and stuff, real power packed, and that's what you'll find on Unwrapped by Brenda's channel. That's what I seen. And she said, "Hey, I just got a veggie and herb seeds in the mail." Oh, dang. God, it seems like we're on the same page on Rabbi Brenda. She said, "Would love to hear gardening episodes from you." Dang, I would love to do gardening episodes. Gosh, I need to get. See, I already got one of those GoPro type things. I gotta get something that like straps it to my chest or some stuff. Like, I don't want to be holding it, for obvious reasons. You already know what I'm talking about because you want two hands while you're gardening and stuff like that, and you don't want to think about it too much, all right? But gardening would be super badass. And I don't know if you ever heard of Stick Sex and Hammer, but he's actually pretty prolific. A lot of people are a big fans of Stick Sex, and I heard about him a long, long time ago, and I found his political banter to be just very articulate, to say the least. And he also does gardening videos, and he does MRE unboxing videos, and just different stuff. It's awesome. So I'm Rabbi Brenda says I'm honored to be a subscriber, or she's honored to have me as a subscriber. And gosh, Unwrapped by Brenda has been a legend in the game even before I knew she had a channel, right? And so I mean, it's pretty much a privilege, right? Okay, so we're about to get into a little bit more of the nitty gritty, but we're happy to have her for as long as she can muster on Rabbi Brenda, dear co-host and contributor of this here channel. And I know there's 3 people up in the building. I appreciate y'all. All right, but check out this comment. You might have been curious. How does Angela reply? She says, "You know the answer to that question, Gerard." And honestly, I gotta admit to you, yes, I do. I knew she knew what a symbol was, and that's why I was saying it, because that was pretty much my whole point. She said, "You absolutely do. One of the things that I think the sheep need right now, all right, is," and mind you, I don't say sheep very much, but, I appreciate it. She said, "The sheep need to do right now is stop propping up the monsters' spells by freaking clapping and praising the creatures over a freaking healthcare central." And I know exactly, here's the thing, the sentiment. I know you're not coming from nowhere, Angela. And I know these bailouts and stuff. I'm pretty much outraged by that too. And although I didn't get a stimulus, hey, God bless, I have a job right now and I can still barely pay bills, right? So I didn't get a stimulus, but that's not a big deal. But a lot of people didn't get stimulus out there who probably really needed one, all right? And they got screwed over. A lot of people got screwed over. Small businesses are getting screwed the hell over, all right? I don't think anybody can argue with that. I would like to see somebody debate that small businesses ain't getting screwed over, meanwhile big businesses are staying open and they're suffering mad loss on their numbers, at least in person. When I go around and I look at these stores, nobody's there. I don't know if they're shopping all online, but the thing is, that's going to cause a bottleneck, and it's all pretty dumb, and it has to do with the supply chain, all right? And a lot of people didn't realize that exists, but it does. And so Angela said, "But if the sheep continue like they've been doing in their utter ignorance, looking at these medical creatures as mini gods, See, this is where she gets a little bit extreme, and I'm not saying to tone it down, Angela. I'm really not saying that. I'm just saying this is where you get a little bit more extreme. If she says nothing is good will come of it, that I can assure you. She said these medics are just about riding off the coattails of Dr. Mengele. And I ain't even joking. She said this is definitely a spiritual battle, to which I would agree. 100%. 100,000 million percent. It is a spiritual battle. That is true. And at the same time, there's a world going on around us, right? And I can't help but notice it, right? And there's certain patterns to it, and I know you notice them out there too. I'm not saying Angela doesn't, right? She said this is definitely a spiritual battle. And part of this awakening business is a process in which we begin to exercise our discernment and start to distinguish the wheat from the tares. Now, I don't know if that's actually a misspelling. I've heard of chaff, but I don't know if that's just different colloquialisms and wheat from the tares. That's what she said. Said, I would hope that you are a good way along that road, given my observations of you over the last few years. Like I said, I couldn't appreciate it more, Angela. You had no idea, right? You have no idea. But she said over the last few years, although listening to you bleed out, and see, this is where she becomes, it's confrontational. But here's the thing, I'm not exactly a stranger to that sort of behavior and that rhetoric, to be honest with you. That's very much, I don't know if encouraged, but it is embraced. All right. So although listening to you bleed out and giving credence to the MSD high school event, see, now it comes back to that. Remember that, and everybody here knows about this event. All right. That can we say Parkland? Can we say MSD high school? All right. Can we say Davy Hug on the internet? She said, but that has made me a little skeptical of your abilities in this area. And hey, feel free, but she says, nevertheless, I will continue to observe your progression in these matters, and hopefully you will come wiser with these deceptions. Eventually, God bless, and God bless you too, Angela. I see, I appreciate that, man. And no matter like what you say, I mean, minus a couple different things, if you just put God bless at the end, I understand that you're coming from a good place. I appreciate that. Now, as far as the MSD thing, all right, yeah. There's been a lot of people and they still hold their opinions, and those are the people who know about the situation. Other than those people, there's most people who forgot about it and will never hardly remember it. Don't even hardly remember it these days. I swear. Probably most people. If you say Parkland, they're like, what are you talking about? What is that? I swear they do. All right. But the thing is, what I wanted to dwell upon is, in a sense, I don't know what she's getting at, right? Or in a sense, I do, because I couldn't say for sure. But I would say that as far as the Parkland situation goes, there's many people out there who think it's 100% period. Fake, hoax, nothing happened. Nobody, it was all complete drill, all right? And to that, I would say it's a possibility, as I've always said, right? It's just not very probable. And here's the thing, I'm getting messages. Oh man, I get all these messages. What? Oh, they're saying the F word on my thing. I didn't mean for that to happen, y'all. I don't know who that is even. All right. All right. So as far as the MSD thing, the parking lot thing goes, yeah, okay. And what I've said, and I put a whole mountain of proof, and not only me, but everybody else put all sort of proof. Yeah, they lied. Yeah, they lied. They're some liars. And they hoaxed most of this, at least. At the very least, they hoaxed absolutely most of it. Meanwhile, I'm here stressing. It's for because this is where we get out of the nitty gritty. What I'm here stressing is these powers that be, or whatever, they got an agenda. They're trying to manipulate. They're trying to be puppet masters. They don't give a good goddamn about killing people. Not in the slightest. To include children, it don't make no damn difference. In fact, if they can get away with it, they'll kill 100 children. Doesn't matter. In fact, they do it already behind the scenes, right? They don't want you to know about it, but actually, they be killing all the children in the womb too, right? By the thousands, dude. They don't give a damn about it. When you look at Bill Gates, all right, is that something you trust? That's the thing about it. Are they going to do 100% hoax and just make sure that they don't touch a single hair on your ever-loving head? I don't think so. They'll touch all sort of things if you let them. And that's the thing about Parkland. Like I said, we're still, the trial's probably being, slowly, because we're all in the midst of this COVID thing, so everything's slowed down. And that trial concerning that Parkland thing, that hasn't even started, really, basically. And, who knows we'll ever get out of the nitty gritty about that. But we've all seen enough evidence to prove that it's at least 90% a hoax, right? So, with that being said, why would we banter back and forth about who's being deceived and this and that? It's like, dude, we don't know stuff about Parkland. Trust me, I haven't seen what you see as far as a murder detective. I haven't seen all that evidence as far as Parkland. So I assume that people actually did get killed, and I'm assuming that people are lying because it's pretty much obvious. All right. So that being said, I actually wanted to go into just like kind of change gears here a little bit and go to a comment that I left, all right, on a particular video. Now, this video is probably a couple of weeks old or something. I don't really remember. It was a little while back, all right. But okay, it was a video titled Coronavirus and Our Faith, Pastor John Hagee. All right, on that, whatever. He's a mega church pastor, John Hagee. He's based out of San Antonio. I've never really been to his place. It's called Cornerstone Church and stuff off of 1604 at the tip top. And of course, it's super big. It's a mega church, all right? I give him all the props for that. Nothing against any mega church people out there. I got to tell you, nothing against them because I don't know you. It's like there's some that I find very unsavory, all right? I've seen them and I dislike it. All right, but as far as John Hagee, I'm just not I'm vaguely familiar with anything he's ever done. To include, he literally did predict the end of the world in 2017. Guess what? I don't think it happened. All right, I mean maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, he proved himself to be just a dum dum and running his damn mouth in 2017. I really don't know much about him otherwise. All right, except for actually recent news that I covered here on this channel. All right, unfortunately, it's very unfortunate. We don't have all the details. He's been arrested about it, but I don't think he's been found guilty about it, and so therefore he's innocent, right? In a sense, even though in a legal sense he's innocent. And we're talking about Jack Hagee, that's John Hagee's brother, around the same age, right? They're pretty old guys. There was a Jack Hagee, and here's the thing, innocent until proven guilty or whatever, but at the same time, he's already confessed to doing it, including confessed to his own brother, John Hagee, all right? From what I understand over the phone, it was John Hagee, to his credit, told his brother that his brother would never, ever be welcome at his house ever again, all right? And that's how the story goes. That's what I heard about it. So to his credit, I'm not saying, I mean, as far as I know, John Hagee made the right move, but this is only very recent. Right, we're talking about a little over a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, right? In which Jack Hagee gets caught up for this and he gets arrested. All right, we're about to see about justice perhaps playing out. I doubt it. And I'm so damn popular right now. I couldn't even believe it. I couldn't even believe it, but they're distracting me. All right, these people need to stop it. All right, I'm right in the middle of a broadcast. Anyways, I wrote this comment. I said this, and I was trying not to be too disrespectful. This is actually my man, and his name. I'm subscribed to his channel. And that's how I found out. His name is skipping my head right now, but he's also based out of San Antonio. The guy on the left, he's a radio guy. Joe Paglia, and he's actually on I don't know if he's on the Blaze. I don't think he's on the Blaze. I think he's on some news network, the one that has Jesse Lee Peterson. I think they're on the same news network, and he's conducting a little interview with John Hagee. All right, just like I said a couple of weeks ago, coronavirus and our faith, Pastor John Hagee. I can't remember what he said, but it was basically John Hagee wound up saying probably the exact typical things you would imagine a mega church pastor would say, right? Very milquetoast, very humdrum, very who cares, and it's really nothing. And during this interview, you had Joe Paglia, God bless him, God bless the both of these guys, and he was talking to John Hagee, and he was like, I'm so impressed by you. I've always been so impressed by you and he even said your family. He said you have a wonderful family, which I understand he probably means his immediate family. It's not like you know what I'm saying? I'm not being overly critical when he says you have a wonderful family. He's probably talking about his immediate family and not so much his brother who's in jail for abusing a little child for years and years and years. All right. I understand that. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people would just, jump to conclusions, but I say, I understand you wouldn't want to talk about Hagee's brother a whole bunch, but it's interesting that you didn't bring it up at all. Like, that was the segment that you put on YouTube, and it had nothing to do with anything except you praising this guy, John Hagee, and all his work, his brilliant work, even though, like I said, he's kind of a dum-dum, and I knew about that back in 2017, right? But you're praising him, and God bless you. You might have a good relationship with him. I'm not saying that you don't. But it's like, it's funny that you want to bring it up just because it is so fresh, right? It's very funny, all right? And the thing is, it's also kind of typical, right? And we're going to talk about that in a second, but hold on. I got some replies to this here comment, so let me just read out the rest of it. It says, and then refer to the Hagee's family. Like I said, it's a wonderful one. I assume that you didn't meet his brother. That's what I just explained right now. But that's what I said. Out of all due respect, y'all are doing a puff piece about, first of all, coronavirus, which is actually pretty serious. In fact, a lot of people, I swear, if people keep texting me, I will shut off this broadcast and I will yell at somebody right directly in their ear hole. I swear. Like, I'm not this popular. Okay, so I said that, and of course I got a reply. I got a number of replies, and I want to show you to that, as respectful as I could possibly put it, and note that this is actually what gets me in the most trouble. I say this is what gets me in at least half the trouble I get into on YouTube, is going into other people's feeds and leaving comments, and then somebody winds up coming back to my channel, and they're so angry at what I did that they they flag me or whatever. So that I've done that a lot less recently, just because it's inconvenient to me. All right. And so Diana Scotia, she's about to come on and say the exact typical thing which you might imagine a John Hagee fan would say. She says, I don't think Pastor Hagee lives with his brother at his age. She says, where is your comment coming from? It's coming from San Antonio, damn Texas, right? Satan hates everyone who lives for the blood of Jesus. What? Okay, so which clearly explains why the godless left hate him. It's like, I'm not the godless left, but I mean, you might be bringing them up, and maybe they hate him and stuff. I brought up something specific, and you're acting like a mindless cult member who just doesn't have anything relevant to say, all right? And I didn't reply that. I don't think I said something a lot better than that, but we're not gonna. I just say, out of respect, blah, 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 come on, out of respect, you might want to perhaps mention the plight of the children, please. Could you perhaps even just mention it by way of mentioning justice for the children, all right? So what did I explain, blah, blah, blah. Okay, this is what I said, right? And I'm not trying to be all long-winded in comments. I said, what it explains is that children hear about, and this is what happens, this is what always happens, they hear about Christianity and they're driven away from it. Why? Because they see inconsistencies in the authority. These pastors out here who claim to have authority, they see inconsistencies, and they see a life of behind the scenes tomfoolery, plus in front of the scenes ultimate mundaneness, and you think you're so funny doing the sermon, and it's just like very boring. You know what I mean? This is what drives people away from Christianity to begin with. Just the fact is, they don't have any good examples, right? And so Dana Scotia says, any form of child abuse is horrible indeed. It's like, I mean, is that, or is that not what I'm getting at? So do you think Pastor Hagee condones that? I never implied that he condones that, right? I said it's kind of messed up you didn't bring it up. So have you ever heard him preach? No, I haven't, all right? And I have no need for it at all. That much I can promise you. I mean, there might be a lot of people with deep pockets that have a need for him, and to hear him preach, I do not. He is serving the Lord with his heart and his mind and his soul daily. If children are walking away from that, then well, that's their own fault. Yeah, and I'm sure if children get abused by people in John Hagee's family, that's their fault as well, dude. And so I get more comments like that. Like, look, oh man, network status, that's crazy. Hold on, we're gonna take a quick break, y'all. I got a network status thing. That's ridiculous. Oh, my network status. Oh, my network status. I always wonder if I can hear, or y'all can hear me during these times of poor network status. You never can tell and stuff. I'll check the recording. Sometimes it'll be there. Sometimes it just won't be there. Totally gone. We were gonna try and get into a news blitz too, you know. Got all sort of things we should look at. Boop, boop, boop. See what I do is I move around the cell phone, and that doesn't typically work, but you know I do it anyways. See if I can't get the network status back. See, when the network status thing at the bottom starts blinking, then I just assume that I'm back and I have some sort of reception or something. And meanwhile, like sometimes when it comes to that situation of poor network status and all this buffering, sometimes I'll come back and I'll continue with the broadcast, and then I'll shortly find out that everybody's been logged out, and it was just like I don't have an audience, which is all right so long as it continues to get recorded, which I assume that it is. All right. So I don't want to leave people in the dust, like if they're not in the building right now, but I also don't want to be paused for too long because I built the suspense up. All right. There's other comments like, look, would it have been appropriate for him to have brought his brother? Yes, it would have. Right. Do you think he was trying to hide it? He was just trying to ignore it, is what I was trying to say. It wasn't a time or the place. It's like when you're at a checkout and they ask you how you are, you don't just say, oh, my brother is accused of doing all sort of crazy things to children. I don't know if that's what she said, but and there was different other comments and replies that were made, and they were basically along these lines. And I ended it, of course, with a God bless you. But the thing is, I do believe it was the time and it was the place. It was both the time and the place, all right? As far as addressing that or even freaking bringing it up. Oh, but the thing is, it's kind of a side note. As far as sexual abuse towards children, I mean, that's kind of a side note, right? That's something we'll deal with later. Right now, we got the coronavirus, and I want to hear Pastor John Hagee. I want to hear his take on it. Yeah, I find that imperative. You know what I'm saying? All right, so and that's the thing. Like I said, John Hagee, as far as I'm concerned, nothing. Whoa, you're still on with no interruptions. Wow. And well, sometimes they fake me out and they put that thing at the bottom. Thank you, Brenda. They put that thing at the bottom, and it very much is distracting when it's blinking like that. It says, you don't got status. You need to shut up your mouth. And I'm like, oh, man, I don't know. I don't have much money. I can't pay for status. All right. And so, like I was saying, it's not. Yeah, I'm not saying all that about Johnny. But here's the thing. All right, let's imagine, if you will, that we're not dum-dums. All right, and let's imagine, if you will, okay, you knew a janitor. You heard about a janitor, and his brother was accused of sexually. I don't even want to say those words, but we already know what it is, right? Abusing a child for years systematically. And you knew, and his brother, this is a brother of a janitor. All right, you would see it as just that. Yeah, that's your brother. You probably had nothing to do with it at all. Okay, and it wouldn't come up in your mind. Like, what if it was a race car driver, and his brother was caught up for doing something like this? It wouldn't really that doesn't correlate. Right? Somebody works at the grocery store, and his brother was caught up doing these things systematically for years to a child. That wouldn't, nobody would think. But imagine you're a mega church pastor raking in all sort of money and stuff because, oh yeah, you're guiding people to heaven. Imagine you're a mega church pastor and your brother systematically, who was a person of authority, by the way. Right, he was big up in like the Houston police department or something like that, somewhere around there. For all those years, a position of authority, and you're a mega church pastor, and I'm not supposed to think twice about that. All right, that's the kind of world some people want me to live in. I don't think so. I see patterns. All right, I'm not saying he did anything. I'm just saying you might want to address it. It might seem a little bit like a big deal for you. It's ridiculous. All right, so we're gonna go into a news blitz now. You're checking out this picture. I didn't Photoshop the picture. All right, if you do get a visual, I know a lot of people are just coming in for that audio, and I appreciate you. That's why sometimes I talk like this. All right, it's very interesting. All right, but other than that, we got a visual here too. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's not even Photoshop from all I know, man. Oh gosh. It's not even, you don't even have to be a robot. You are a robot, all right? I don't care if you're made out of metal or not. That is a robot. That is a robot thing, and I'm not familiar with this particular governor. She looks like one of them Stepford wives. It is unsettling. It's unsettling. No person would put this picture in their bedroom or anything like that in their house, right? Their house would become haunted. This is a messed up picture, right? And the thing is, I've seen other pictures where it looks pretty much just like this. Oh my gosh, what is happening to this lady's eyeballs? Oh my gosh, how in the world did y'all let this thing? I'm not familiar with this thing. I've never heard it speak, dude, but look at this face, and I've seen it before. I've seen other pictures that look like that. Governor Whitmer, and please believe she wants to lock you down in her robotic ass ways, alright? And I don't know why I took a picture of this, but it says, oh yeah, people are making memes. Like this person's on Team Joe, and I don't know. It's something wild, I guess. I mean, Team Joe Biden, he's trying to run for the president. It doesn't make any damn sense, not even to begin with. And so they're gonna make a concerted series of follies, one after the other, and of epic proportion, I guess. And so they actually went out of their way to they put on Joe's website a place in which you could create a meme with your face in it and type in a slogan, I guess because they're so damn lazy. And so you do it all yourself. Basically, you prop up Joe Biden because they can't even do it. All right, so people made all these memes and they were funny, right? And that's what's gonna happen. And you should know that by now, but y'all are on drugs. Y'all on some hard drugs, all right? One third of participants, and we're about to go through a news blitz, y'all, right now, because that was the second half of what I wanted to get done. There's all sort of other comments out there that I appreciate, and all sort of people out there. And shoot, man, I can't go through the list right now, but y'all know who you are, and you're all legends out there. I mean, some of y'all ain't legends, just to be real, all right? There's people out there who come through the channel who are not legends, all right? I'm not just out there saying, oh, everybody's a legend. No, people have proved it to me, but it happens to be the majority of people come through. All right, but some people aren't legends, just to let you know, all right? But everybody's significant, all right? And everybody's actually essential regardless. It's just we don't know who they are yet. So one third of participants in Massachusetts study tested positive for antibodies linked to coronavirus. Now you might have heard it's very similar to the common cold. It basically is a common cold. It's like a weaponized common cold made by freaks in a laboratory. Basically, is what it is. And I feel like they dropped it on us quite a while back. And so I don't know if they're just testing for the common cold. I've heard that before. They want to stick a damn swab up your nose like 3 inches. Thank God I didn't go through that. That sounds terrifying. And they got to do that, or at least they stopped doing that. But they were doing that for a while. And so they're finding out one third of people in the whole damn state who they test, basically, are coming up positive. Come on now. All right. I mean, how simple does it have to be? Instead of like, we said this a long time ago, or at least I said it a long time ago, and people have their different various theories, but yeah, we have it. We've had it a long time. Why don't you open the place up? Y'all are slipping and tripping, but the thing is, you meaningfully do it. There's people in power who's purposefully shutting down the economy. One would ask, how does that help them? And unknown numbers of ways does it help them. Not only that, they're also between a rock and a hard place, and they are a puppet, and they live life as slaves. All right, they got to do what they're ordered to do. I need to go across the room right now, but I'll be right back. All right. Oh yeah, y'all, I'm right back. The thing is, there's a candle burning across the room, and it smells great. I mean, it's a wonderful candle, but I have a one-room apartment. It'll fill it up, and I get like to where like I got all candle smoke around me. All right, and I couldn't go on any further. All right, but now it's time for a news blitz. Like I said, this just kind of plays into the obvious theories of them wanting to shut us down. Isn't it convenient? Oh, now we got to mail in our votes. Oh, now we get liquid nano chips. And that's the thing. Some people can't wrap their heads around it. God bless you. It'll take time. But liquid nano chips pumped into your blood, all right, and different little marks and stuff that you might not think possible with the tiniest of needles. Trust me, it's very possible. I've seen all sort of things that you wouldn't believe, but yeah, they could do it. So that, I mean, it's just, it is what it is. We're being shut down systematically. And okay, just to get to the point of the matter, all people aside, and stuff, just not vouching for anyone. At the end of the day, the what my nitty gritty is, the point I've been trying to make is, if you don't bring the people who's done this, like, you're pretending that, oh, it's not man made. Of course it's man made, right? Pretty much plain as day, right? So, okay, we need to call some people accountable. Whether it was an accident or not makes no damn difference. Actually, that much you had to know, because let's say it's an accident, everybody accidentally did this. Oh, let's then we go on our merry way, and accidents happen again later this year, dude. And trust me, they will. The point I'm getting at is, you have to bring these people to justice. You got to start getting on it right now. Get on their heels right now. And I'm not saying you, but I'm saying the people who's in the position to do it. Y'all gonna have to try and do it right now, because if not, they're gonna continue having accidents. And that's the whole point. Thing is, they couldn't afford. We established before this whole bioweapon thing came out, that Bart Fine told us about a long time ago. We established that this sort of thing had to happen just because they were running out of rope. These people who are so evil, and we see them doing crazy, wild things, they literally had nothing else. They don't have another leg to stand on, unfortunately. All throughout our recent history, we got these people, and they're propped up by just know nothing sheep type people or whatever, just holding them up economically. Now, there's not even enough people to hold up those legs. They don't have enough people believing their stories. And so with that, they get very desperate, and things that they plan to do for hundreds of years, and I mean throughout generations of people plotting and scheming against their fellow man. Yeah, they were planning to do this whole thing. Yeah, they had 2020 in mind. They had 2030 in mind. They already had it planned out, but they're making desperate moves. They're not so calculated as they would like, which is unfortunate. They wanted to make these moves, but as the quote elite evolved, if you will, it was actually a de-evolution. They've been getting dumber and dumber this whole time. All right, the elite used to actually be very cunning and stuff, and they're kind of cunning now. But at the same time, they're only going by playbooks that were written out for them hundreds of years ago. Without that, they would have not hardly the knowledge to tie their shoes and leave out the freaking front door in the morning. I mean, they're that incapable, and they're that disgusting, right? And so they're going by a playbook, but they are acting very desperate because they can't achieve their goals very cleanly, all right? And that is my point. But the thing is, they are that desperate. If you don't catch them up right now, or at least get the wheels turning on that, you can expect another bioweapon just as sure as the nose on your face, right in front of you. Wisconsin sheriff says he will not enforce stay-at-home order. Dang, y'all, I forgot to tell you. And I think y'all might want to know this. It's kind of crucial about the coronavirus thing or whatever, the mandates and the protocols and the whatnot. All right, I'm a particular person, right? So you got to factor that in. I'm not saying that I'm any old person. I look a certain kind of way, and it's not to say it's intimidating by much means, but whatever. 6 foot tall, that's average height. Maybe a little bit average build, But as far as, I'm not a little girl, basically. You're not gonna approach me that way, and everybody knows this. And I've experienced that privilege, I guess, for some years now. And then okay, come at me with a little bit of respect, or I'm gonna look at you stupid at the very least, and at the most, I can defend myself. So, here, on a personal note, I actually had a whole bunch of things that I did today, to include some gardening things, and I had to go over to Home Depot. Now that's not too far of a walk over to the Home Depot, and I walk over there and stuff, enjoying the day, wondering what I'm gonna come across, right? And after I explain this couple of things, then we're gonna see if we can dive down this news blitz, because honestly, I forget what's here on this news blitz, and I kind of want to catch up on it before we get out of here, right? But here's what I want to explain to you on a personal note. Explaining all these things, I go everywhere alone, right? And like a lot of people probably here who come to my channel, you're very used to doing things alone, right? You're kind of a loner, If not, it's just like, you're going to do what you have to do. If it's alone, you're going to do it. And so I go all around town. I do things basically alone for the most part. Sometimes I hang out with people, but it is what it is. That's how I operate. All right. Things will get done regardless. If I got to do it by myself, they're going to get done. And so, not to brag on myself, but I go to Home Depot and I noticed that, there's a line out the door as, typical because of these protocols. And they're only allowing a certain amount of people. They're regulating the flow into the store, and you can argue how good that might be or how good it might not be. That's just a protocol. I wasn't gonna stir it up because I need to go to Home Depot for some certain things that I wanted for my gardening, right? And so I noticed that the line from out the door, most people had masks, all right? Because here's the thing, I don't know about on your particular area, but in my city, it was made known that now people all had to wear masks out in public. And I think I might have covered this in the last broadcast. You had to wear a mask out in public now. It's mandated. Trust me, it is not the law and it has nothing to do with the law, but it's their rules that they're mandating, right? Okay. So that being said, the mask thing went into effect. The mayor of San Antonio announced it like on Friday, but it actually went into effect today, Monday, 4/20 of 2020. And so, okay, now I'm going to Home Depot. There's a line out the door. I noticed that most people wearing their masks. I brought a bandana with me, and actually, I got this Alex Jones mask that I cut in half, and it's kind of funny, and I put it on, and it's like half my face is Alex Jones, right? You can hate on me all you want, but it's funny. Anyway, so I brought it with me just in case, and I got a banana around my neck. Now, thing is, regardless, if you're in that San Antonio sun, right, or people out there who's familiar with that kind of sunshine, you're going to want to put a bandana on your neck anyways. I mean, ultimately, you're going to burn the hell out of your neck, right? So mandate or not, a bandana around your neck really isn't a bad idea. And so I'm thinking to myself, it's not a bad idea. I might do this anyways because it's so sunny, it might burn my neck. And so, okay, I got a bandana around my neck, but I go to Home Depot and I noticed that 10% of the people, like I said, 90% was wearing a mask, 10% was not. 10% was not. And that got me very curious because, of course, they have security out front now who they got to pay to be security now to make sure that everybody's going in properly. And 10% of the people didn't have masks, right? Which said to me that screw masks, they're not wearing a mask, and I'm not going to wear no damn mask, right? So, all right. So we go into this line, and it actually kind of goes in expeditiously. I got to say, for the people running the line, they ran it pretty well. It was a long line, but it didn't take very long to get in. And 10% of us walked in with no mask, right past the security guard, who's probably an off-duty police officer. That's what he looks like. And that guy didn't say a mumbling word to anybody, right? So that might give you kind of an insight into like this whole mask thing. And for what it's worth, the news probably wouldn't tell you, but there's certain people out there whose health conditions kind of prohibit them wearing masks because it kind of strains your breathing, right? So if you have COPD, for example, it'd be hard to wear a mask. And on top of that, you probably wouldn't want to be out and stuff because you got COPD, you got some problems. But, but as to say, some people can't wear masks. And so it is what it is. At the end of the day, it's not a law. And it is a rule. And I think what in San Antonio, I can't say about other places, but in San Antonio, most police officers are not going to give you a problem for this, dude. No matter what the hell the mayor says or the sheriff says. Right? They're gonna look the other way, I guess. Because it's just going to be way too much of a hassle if they don't. They realize they're going to get it. Okay, so I went all throughout Home Depot, never once putting on a mask, checked out, didn't put on a mask, left Home Depot, and I got my stuff, and never once put on a mask, right? For all their rules. And they have all sort of rules that we should shut down. That's the thing, all these small businesses are going to come and harass you, number one, and they're going to issue all sort of fines. But at the end of the day, how constitutional are these fines going to be? How much are they even going to stand up in a court of law? Are they just harassing you? All right. Is there a law that can even make them capable to shut you down? Or are they going to have to terrorize you outside of the law? I got a feeling that that's the case. But okay, before I even went to Home Depot, I ran around too, and ran around with the American flag just real briefly. I have a habit of doing that. Everybody gets charged up, especially in these times. People want to know that there's some damn Americans running down the street. And so I do that with a flag and stuff. And I'll have you know that I went out to the street corner. In fact, I was standing there just dancing around, right? Like a plum fool, but I was a plum fool for America out there. And I had a sombrero on just because, it's sunny and that's my culture, right? And the sombrero is red, white, and blue, if you can even believe it, right? I had a flag waving and as I was doing my little thing and I had a sign that said, "You are essential." All right, to basically spit in the face of the mayor, all right, who's calling you non-essential. And I have you know, it's only communists that use that word, non-essential. Oh yeah, that's a communist word, all right. It's used to negate the fact that you're important. You're extremely important, all right. So I had a sign that said, "You are essential." There wasn't like, it. It wasn't exclusive. It was if you can read this, you are essential. If you can't read it, you're still essential. All right, holding up that flag, everybody's getting all dressed up. I'll have you know that a couple different police officers rode by me. Didn't have a mumbling word to say. Right. In fact, probably gave me thumbs up. Couldn't tell by the tinted windows and everything, but they didn't give me no sort of problems. I was out there mask free. Right. Some people see right through this ridiculousness. All right, and there's a lot of people out there who's still scared and doing the mask thing. I can appreciate y'all. When I went to Target, for example, okay, oh man, I went to Target after Home Depot, all right? We're running short on time, so I gotta jump into this news blitz before we get out of here. I wanna get out of here in about 15 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes, because I got some stuff to do before I go to work, all right, and make some of that real money, all right? But I want to say I also went to Target after the Home Depot. Home Depot is a little bit of a different environment from Target, all right? As you can imagine. So I go to Target and I walk in. And okay, this is what I do because I'm just fresh off coming from Home Depot and dropping my stuff off at home and then going out to Target, all right? So I walk into Target very cautiously. And meanwhile, I notice everybody who's walking into Target has a mask on. Everybody. And there wasn't a line, but people were leisurely going into Target, so I started walking in there too. I got my bandana ready. I got my Alex Jones half face mask for fun. I got that ready as well. And so I walk in there very cautiously, and there's people at the front of Target to greet you, and actually there's a lady wiping down and disinfecting all the carts and spreading them out so that none of the carts touch any of the other carts and disinfect it. It's crazy what they got. So right there at the beginning, everybody's wearing masks, mind you. Everybody. There's not one person in there that's not wearing a mask. And I walk through there without a mask. I walk into Target, and I'm looking everybody in the eyeball. All right, like as I walk past you, if you work at Target, I'm looking at you straight in the face because I want you to tell me to put on that mask. And I see that everybody else is wearing a mask. Mind you, if you just ask me to put on the mask, I'm going to put it on just because everybody else has it on. And I don't really want to make a problem. There's some things I don't want to get from Target and get the hell out of here. And so I would put on the mask. So I'm looking at every employee that I'm passing by. None of them say a word. Not one word. I just walk past them. I walk all throughout Target, leisurely, getting the things that I need, going every which way. There was not one person in there not wearing a mask except for me. If you can imagine, if you can just imagine that environment, it was nuts. That was nuts. But every person who I kept walking past, be it employee or customer, every time I walked past them, I was just getting more and more it's confident, I guess you would say, and just laughing my ass off inside my head, walking through an entire Target where everybody's wearing a mask but me. Oh man, it was a great day. I did a lot of weird things, right? But I feel like it's gonna be a lot more of that, not just coming from me, coming from every which way here in San Antonio. We're kind of known for it. So let's go through this here news blitz, y'all. Y'all been here long enough. What's going on out there? While we do this news blitz, I encourage, you to leave a comment for something that I might not touch upon, or it might be crucial. Lord knows there's a lot of stuff that we can't even, I can't get to everything, but I would like to hear from you. See, Wisconsin sheriff says he will not enforce a stay-at-home order. Yeah, I've noticed that. Some sheriffs enforce the Constitution, or at least try to. San Clemente they fail, and they fill skate park with 37 tons of sand to block skaters. Now, sand is very cheap, all right? It is very cheap, but if you're buying 37 tons of it, that's going to cost you a lot of freaking money, right? And so they basically spent a lot of freaking money to put sand over a skate park, and inevitably somebody's going to have to come. So you got to pay somebody to put the sand. You got to pay for the sand. You got to pay for the machinery, and then you got to pay for somebody to remove the sand and all the machinery that entails later on, you dumb MNFers. I mean, that's what you're about, right? That is literally what you're about. Just wild and outlandish failure, unceasing failure. That's who runs the country, right? Trump, yes, it is appropriate to defend the Second Amendment now. And you notice that there was a lot of people that are defending their Second Amendment, right, in these times. And that is over some people's heads because they are basically robots, right? And those people are animatronic, but they don't get it, right? But some people do get it. It's a little bit indirect, but yes, this is a threat on First Amendment, Second Amendment, the entirety of the Constitution, especially the guns, because that is something that they want real bad, real bad. And of course, they're using rhetoric to say, "Oh, people don't need guns; they might have COVID." All right, and so we got to bust down their door, take their guns. All right, so of course they're gonna bring that up. And some people say, "Oh, that's not appropriate because you're threatening people." They're saying, "Don't tread on me, MNF." I mean, they're just saying like, "Please don't tread on me," basically, all right? And they're somehow some terrorists. California study: 50 times more people than projected have crime. There you go. I guess it just doesn't stop, right? Really, just doesn't stop. Yes, we all have experienced the common cold. Yes, it kills old people. Yes, he souped it up in a laboratory. Yes, Bill Gates had a lot to do with it. Yes, so does Dr. Fauci. Yes, Dr. Birx is just insufferable and nobody likes her in her stupid scarf. Yes, yes, yes. All the answers are yes. Our predictions are yes. Everything's yes. Right? And yet and still they try to play us. And they're going to continue to try to play us. Next week, the San Antonio mayor is just going to be like even more scared, right? And the numbers aren't necessarily going to back it up, but they don't have to, right? Scientists, Chinese coronavirus pandemic may have started in September. Oh, really? Damn, dude, y'all some scientists too. And credit where credit is due. I don't know how to do what y'all are doing and everything, but I happen to say the same exact thing. And I didn't need y'all to tell me this. I didn't even need y'all in your lab coats, but I appreciate y'all in your lab coats. Meanwhile, Rob Reiner says Trump will lose in a landslide because Americans will be voting for their lives. Oh my God. So here's the thing. I'm not talking about just Rob Reiner, but as you all know, I'm not telling you anything. I might even just be getting you riled up. These celebrities are so damn disgusting and so stupid that it's unbelievable. And I shudder to even look at them sometimes. Their life is such in ruins, and oh yeah, they got all this money because somehow they've been propped up by, unfortunately, our patronage this whole time. I haven't seen movies. I haven't gone to movies. I haven't seen movies in years. I find them all disgusting, right? And before we get, we're not gonna go deep. Not gonna take a deep dive, but just think about it. These actors and celebrities, for as cool as they are, you know, they're so handsome and beautiful and stuff. Okay, they're professional damn liars, and by definition, that's what they are. That's all they're good at, anyways. That is all you're good at. That's all you're good at. Just looking a certain way and being a damn liar. All right, so you're gonna come on. Oh, you're so concerned. We're gonna do One World at Home concert for you guys and sing. It's such a disgrace, y'all. Are such a disgrace. You're so miserable because you signed your lives away And so God has been forsaking you, and it's unfortunate. That's why you look that way, Rob Reiner. I must say, it's crazy how you were a meathead back then, and you're still a damn meathead. I can't even believe it, dude. You must be so high on reefer. I'm looking at your eyeballs, and it's like, dude, what do you have to tell anybody ever in life? Right? Nothing at all. He's gonna lose in a landslide to who? Rob Reiner, you're so fat, you're so disgusting. I can't even hardly believe it. But okay, here's the thing. Lose to who? Who would he lose to? Who's there to lose to? Can you name a person? Can you name one person in the world that Donald Trump would lose to? Are you going to say Joe Biden? Are you really going to say that? How many pounds of reefer do you have to smoke into your dumb head to think that it's even possible? That it's even close to possible? That's how messed up you are in your spirit. It is a spiritual battle, mind you. I'm sure he's a genius at directing. Town mayor refuses to open parks despite government advice. Right. So what you're gonna know is that certain mayors and certain governors are just gonna go rogue. All right, not exactly going to make any damn sense. All right, and our dear co-host, actually, we might go to her channel. Actually, we are going to go to her channel at the end of this. About five or so minutes, we're going to check out Unwrapped by Brenda's channel and check out the newest videos that she has up on there. And just, look at the thumbnails and see what's available. But the town mayor refuses to open the government because he went all rogue. He also has this smug-looking ass face on his damn face. And God bless him. I love him. I don't know who he is, but he needs to wipe that that smug look off his face just about as fast as he can. It's damn ridiculous. And he's going rogue. And that's what you're going to notice. As far as safety concerns, I know a lot of people would say, oh, you can't believe in Donald Trump. You can't believe in this and that. I believe in God, number one. And then secondly, things happen externally that I can't help but notice, all right? And so they're like, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. Oh, you know what? We're all going through these safety measures as a nation, no matter what's our opinion. Now, that being said, people like Donald Trump. We want to open certain places, to include Texas. Governors like Greg Abbott. I mean, could he be more decisive? Yes, he could. Does it seem like he wants to open up Texas as soon as possible? Yes, it does. All right. When it comes to our mayor, he's going to look like a damn coward who honestly has something bad tasting in his mouth. That's what he's going to look like, no, regardless of what time of the day you catch him at. And he's going to go rogue, and he's going to do things and create his own damn policies, even though it's not going to be for the betterment of his community. This guy is also one of those people who's going to go rogue because he feels like he's protected. That's why. Feels like he's protected. I'm not making a threat on him at all. I'm just saying he feels like he could do whatever he wants above the law, create his own law, even though none of his laws that he's making are even laws. They're just his silly rules. Hollywood actor Patton Oswalt mocks protesters seeking to reopen the economy, and he wants them to open Fuddruckers. Here's the thing. We don't have any more time left for the news blitz. I might go on a news blitz that I'll record later and stuff just because there's so much that we didn't even get to. But Hollywood actor Patton Oswalt mocks protesters. You can mock them all you want. They're happening all across the nation, on all these cities. I want to touch upon reality for a second. Some people get lost. They lose sight of it. The reality is all those spring breakers got together and grinded up on all on each other. All right. I don't have to break this to you. They got into drunken stupors and grinded all up on each other. Most of the time, bare skin, obviously. I mean, just going around and just doing who knows what, right? Those guys did stuff. People have congregated. All right, maybe not so much in the recent days, but they already were congregating. They already did the congregating. Oh yeah, now they're going to do these protests. You might not like the protests. I don't really care. I love the protests, all right? I support them. But regardless of your opinion, they already did it. And they're going to do it again. And they're going to do it again. And they're not going to do social distancing, not so much. All right, so your idea might be if we don't go all on full lockdown and hide ourselves in the closets, And I know this is none of y'all's idea, but there's some people out there who are thinking this, right? They think if we don't hide all in the closets for about 3 months, then this is gonna definitely gonna kill us no matter what. Regardless, it's gonna sweep the whole nation. Everybody's gonna die, or something. Just like it's gonna be overwhelmed, right? The deed's already done. I don't know if you noticed, but if the lockdown was the only way to assure our safety, guess what? There hasn't been, and the deed's already done. So it's like you might want to react to reality. There's people so far gone, and it is a spiritual battle. They have become blinded, but that's just to show you an example of us right in front of their face. This is a reality. They already did it. They work in your community. They're going to be walking around without a mask. Are you safe? Should you go hide in your closet? Those should be questions you're asking yourself right now, because there is no such thing as lockdown. You already missed that. You already missed that boat. Right? For better or for worse, I was never concerned too much with the lockdown. Right? And this smug son of a gun right here, he's a typical example of someone who thinks you're not essential. He thinks you're just a piece of slime. He's pretty much always thought that, for as far as I could tell. You're a damn dirty piece of slime, and he knows what's best for you. Meanwhile, if you were to open up, all y'all would do is open up some Fuddruckers, because that's what he thinks about you. Right? That's how gone, like, he can still say his ABCs. Right? If you put a book in front of him, he could probably read it. Right? He's so damn blind that that's what he thinks of you, even though every last luxury in his life is dedicated and is thanks to you, and thanks to America holding him up, because Lord knows he is a slob. He looks like a blob. He looks like he would melt into a chair and just stay there and slurp on his damn Slurpees for the rest of the day, and that's his day-to-day life, right? Meanwhile, you're not essential. You might as well lock yourself in the closet. Meanwhile, he gets to go back to his little small mansion where he gets to live it up. And that's how much celebrities. It's like, dude, I can't even. You can hardly pay me to even. You couldn't hardly pay me to watch a movie, probably, right? So, anyways, just let's get up out of here. But I did want to go see on Rabbi Brenda's channel, because it does correlate. She has been touching upon the nitty gritty too, as well. How do I go to YouTube? All right. And so she's got some pretty dang. She's been covering some stuff. Here's the thing. I got on broadcast now. I need to delete all this stuff out of my broadcast. I got 91 videos, but way at the very, very end, I made note of certain videos who I just want to shout out and make mention to them. They're very recent and stuff. As we get on out of here. Gosh, man, I got a lot. All right, here it is. All right. Just a few videos that I noticed. There's a long rambling blog by Maitre Mark, and I'm sure that was badass. We got Bill Pie in the Face, Bill Gates. That was from the man Shaky88. And it's a brief video of Bill Gates being hit in the face with a pie a couple different times. And it's funny as hell. And oh man, he is a loser. And he is a actor. And he is a fraud. And he is a little cheese willy. He's one of those chicken neck Nellies, right? He ain't nothing. He's a little piece of nothing. Right, he got hit in the face with a pie, just like a neck Nelly would, right? And then Joseph Callan, he said post-COVID-19 is already set, and of course you got Bill Gates on the thumbnail, right? And then you got Evil is Dumb by Joe Green, all right? And he's the man as well, and he puts it down, not all the time, but he does it at his leisure, and he puts it down real hard. Alright, he's kind of hard to find on YouTube because his name, but you could eventually find his Joe Green and stuff, and I'll give you a link. If you don't have one. Meanwhile, it says up in the comments section, I guess we missed a couple of them. We got Unwrapped by Brenda just holding us down this whole time. Oh man, she deserves all the credit for this here broadcast. She says, I made a mask that I put 5G causes CV symptoms. She said, I haven't worn it. She said, I hope I never will be made to. But if she's made to, people are going to have to suck on these 5G causes all over her mask. Right? It causes the CV. And that's the thing. I wouldn't even say it caused it. I do believe it's a man-made weapon, but it certainly does exasperate it. And here's the thing, I got a suspicion when your body starts fizzing, when your body starts experiencing electrical fizzing, it might have a lot to do with some 5G, and I don't even know if I can say that, but I just did say it. Oh man, I'm gonna get banned all over the place. Rabbi Brenda says this, and it's the most crucial. It's what I want to dwell upon as we get on out of here. She said, I want to live until I die. And I believe that's actually in the song. But I'm sure a lot of people said that, and totally agree with that. Totally agree. And they're messing with us like they could put our lives on hold, right? Like they can dam up the ocean or something. It's not going to happen. And in fact, it's very insulting. It's very insulting. In fact, we're going to live until you come to our door and kill us. Some of us. Some of us just going to live that way. All right? So you make your move. And that being said, check out this. This is a video from Brenda. We can't check it out because, of course, I'll go buffering. But I wanted to look at Brenda's channel. Now I'm going to have to turn my phone sideways, which is hard to do, and I hope I don't lose audio, but there you go. There you go. And we go to Unwrapped by Brenda's channel. She is gaining in subscribers, and her subscribers are the deep sort, you know. She's on the small scale, but she has, I've checked them out. The comment sections are blazing up on her videos. The last one she did was Evil-Eyed Shape-Shifting Viper, if you're into those sort of things. And that was the New Jersey governor saying some things that were pretty much criminal. He shouldn't be allowed to say those things, but he was saying them. And Tucker Carlson was leading him out like with little breadcrumbs so that he would totally embarrass himself, and that's what he did. And the New Jersey governor, in this very short clip that you will find on Unwrapped by Brenda's channel, he basically says that he doesn't have nothing to do with the Constitution, and he doesn't really have much use for it either. He says some things like that. He said he doesn't get paid enough to think about the Constitution. He literally said that. Younger generation enjoying their God-given rights? Oh, man. Or the God-given freedoms and rights? Oh, man. That's terrible. She won't wake up. A short conversation with a sleeping sister, as some of y'all might be familiar with. You see, there's are real deep, nitty-gritty things. These are things that you want to hear on a daily basis. As far as short things, as far as personal things, personal stories, and sharing the nitty-gritty, history repeating itself over 70 years later. All right, like I said, nitty-gritty. All right, it's amassed now a band of honor. It seems so. Am I beyond tired of seeing nurses and whoever else carrying on doing TikTok videos? Yes, I sure am. In fact, I think it should be criminal. I think we should make a law against y'all doing stupid TikTok choreographed dance videos and thinking that the fact that somebody's entertained by that makes me want to throw up, all right? And Brenda knows that I can't throw up, but it makes me want to. Change the title, very informative on blankety blank blank. We just can't talk about that, all right? But there's a video in which they talk all about it, I'm sure, here on Brenda's channel. And she don't even have much videos yet, but still 73 subscribers and this amount of videos. Was this it? I don't know if that's where it starts, but if that's the amount of videos and you got 73 subscribers, then you already got a built-in reputation, and that's amazing. All right, it took me 12 years to get to 73 subscribers, man. I mean, it took me a long time. I'm just saying, it's like it took me a long time to get that way, because sometimes to hone in on the skill sets and stuff like that, to really know what people are trying to hear, it takes a while. But some people they dive right into it, and they have, for whatever it's worth, what people want to hear and the way that people want to hear it. All right, maybe I don't have that, but that's all right. Some people like it for some sort of reason. Anyways, I got to get up out of here and stuff and try and see if I can make some money. And I appreciate the heck out of y'all. I got to get up out of here and stuff, but I appreciate y'all. And maybe on Wednesday, we're going to try and get back here. I really want to. And let's see if we can make it something formal where we have anything going. And we'll see about it, all right? But don't hold me to it, although I really, really do want to be here on Wednesday. But we'll see about it, all right? I'm sorry, I can't promise. But I'll holler at you a little bit later. It's April the 20th, 2020.